Stars are undoubtedly one of the most important components of our universe, providing a remarkable amount of heat essential for maintaining comfortable living conditions. But what if it all goes away? What would you do in this cold, dark universe? You might be ready to give up, but into the darkness you see a faint glimmer of hope: black holes. Formed from the remnants of dead stars, these gargantuan balls of infinite matter are truly one of the most fascinating phenomena in our universe. With gravity so intense that even light cannot escape its grasp, you might be wondering, how can a place like this ever support life, let alone a thriving civilization? And while that might be the case for smaller, more fierce black holes, large black holes may be the perfect place to house humanity. But wait a minute, why are smaller black holes more dangerous than large ones? Shouldn't it be the opposite? Okay, imagine there are two clones of you, Andrew and Bob, each falling into a smaller black hole and a large one respectively. As each individual is approaching the event horizon, Andrew experiences a much more extreme gravitational pull, causing his body to stretch like a spaghetti. This process is conveniently called spaghettification, while our friend Bob has a more tame experience, although equally deadly at the end.
What?
This is all due to the distance of each individual from the point of singularity. Because larger black holes are large, the distance from the individual to singularity is also quite huge, resulting in a milder gravitational pull. So size does matter, I guess. Anyways, now that you've found your dream black hole, you might be looking for an ideal planet to set up camp. But is there really such a thing as a perfect planet? And would you even be able to find one that is not being devoured by the black beast? Well, there is no such thing as a perfect planet. Even in your time, scientists haven't found the perfect planet for humans, although you could argue that your space exploration journey has just begun. But my point still stands. You don't have a lot of great options, especially ones that are closer to the black hole. So what would be the next best thing? For starters, we can ignore the gas giants, as their atmospheric pressure would be high enough to crush you instantly. Since humans mainly need water and oxygen to survive, a water-covered planet with an oxygen-rich atmosphere might seem like a no-brainer. However, a planet like that would be more prone to constant tsunamis, with waves reaching the clouds. Standing still would be impossible, let alone setting up a proper base. Okay, but what if we find a planet like Earth? Problem solved? Not really. While currently for you, Earth might be the perfect planet as it revolves around a yellow dwarf star. Around black holes, let's just say it wouldn't be that perfect. The equator will bulge out even more, squeezing the mantle and causing devastating earthquake and volcanic eruptions. With such a strong gravitational pull, the oceans will move towards the equator, forming a mega ocean with waves reaching the cloud. So, is that it? Should you just give up? After all, that dream world in your mind would be a nightmare to live in reality. Well, let's not give up hope this easily. Instead of looking for a planet with liquid water, try looking for a much drier planet with water mostly present as ice. Planets like these would be on a little farther side of the habitable zone, making them ideal for colonization. A major benefit of having a planet farther away from the black hole is the experience of time dilation. You won't have to suffer much from the effects of time dilation, but basically it is a phenomena where time moves differently relative to the velocity of the object or the gravitational potential of the location. The higher gravity in this case would result in time moving a lot slower for you than the rest of the universe. So while you're celebrating your first anniversary on the planet, generations will born and die outside of its gravitational influence. To them, you would be nothing more than a motionless figure suspended in time for what seems like an eternity. Anyways, areas closer to the equator would experience milder temperatures, making them more favorable for crop cultivation and human settlements. Additionally, due to the increased distance from the black hole, the surface would be less prone to extreme stress, resulting in reduced earthquake activity and a lower risk of flooding. While an oxygen-rich atmosphere would be beneficial, it is more important to note that too much pure oxygen would be dangerous. In a pure oxygen environment, even a tiny spark could lead to a rapid and prolonged exposure to pure oxygen can also lead to oxygen toxicity, which can cause lung damage, seizures, and other neurological symptoms. To maintain a balanced and sustainable atmosphere, the presence of other gases such as carbon dioxide and nitrogen is vital. Carbon dioxide acts as a greenhouse gas, trapping heat and stabilizing the planet's temperature at a more sustainable level. Nitrogen, on the other hand, is a key ingredient for plant fertilizers and is relatively unreactive. So, time for you to land. After touchdown, the first sensible course of action would be for you to create an artificial pod, providing you a safe haven until you gain a better understanding of the environment. The pod's air filtration system would ensure a clean and breathable air, while the water filtration system would remove any impurities, providing you with a reliable source of drinking water. Root vegetables like potatoes and carrots would be the best and safest options, offering you a good amount of calories while requiring relatively low water consumption. You could also cultivate corn, as it is weather tolerant and doesn't demand excess amounts of water. However, it would require a substantial amount of land, but by focusing on these fundamental foods, you can ensure your survival in these early stages. Oh, it is also important to consider the management of human waste. Surprisingly, human waste can serve as a valuable source of plant nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus. However, it is important to handle it with care, as it may contain parasites. Proper treatment and processing would be necessary to make it safe for use as fertilizers. Congratulations! Almost a year has passed and your understanding for the environment has grown significantly. With each passing day, you have implemented weather monitoring systems and an early disaster warning system to safeguard your colony. Your commitment to scientific research helps you learn more about the ecosystem, geology, and the resources of this alien planet. You explore areas beyond your landing site, looking for valuable minerals and metals that can help you grow and progress. Besides your abilities to survive, this journey shows how strong and determined you are. Even when facing challenge, you keep going, aiming for a better future. After all, that's what makes you human. All that being said, this is still the best case scenario, and reality can often be more disappointing. What if, even after searching tirelessly, you couldn't find the perfect planet? As resourceful as humans are, you realize that survival calls for daring and creative solutions. Maybe the key lies not in finding the ideal planet, but in creating one.